Whenever I go to my local Japanese restaurant and I don't know what I feel like eating, I always order California sushi rolls because I could eat it all the time. Hello, I'm Moon. Today, I want to show you how to make California sushi rolls at home yourself with avocado, crab meat, cucumber, and a sesame seed rice with seaweed. It's so light, healthy, and delicious, not to mention how easy it is to make. So the most important ingredient in any type of sushi is really the rice. And the type of rice that you want to get is the short grain, sticky white rice that the Koreans and Japanese eat. It's really important to get this type of rice for that sticky quality because that's what sushi requires. So I'm going to boil 2 cups of our white rice in water a little bit later. The other really important ingredient for our sushi is really our seaweed. So in Japanese, they're called nori. They're square, thin paper sheets that look like this. They also come in toasted form, but you don't want to get them in the toasted form. You just want to get the plain, dried seaweed sheets. It's really important. So now I want to show you all the ingredients that's going to go in my California sushi roll. So here I have some crab meat. This is imitation crab meat, which I like, but if you like real crab meat, you can certainly use that. And have some cucumber here for a nice crunchy freshness, and then our avocado for that smooth creamy texture. So what I'm going to do now is just slice everything up. So we'll just take our crab meat and slice it into thin pieces so it'll fit into our sushi roll. Just some thin pieces just like this. And then we're going to go in and slice our cucumber into julienne pieces. So we'll just make some wide cuts going down like this first. And then we'll go ahead and we'll recut it into thin julienne pieces, just like this. You want to get really thin strips so it fits into our California sushi roll. And then in terms of our avocado, the way you know that it's really ripe is that when you kind of press into it, it gives a little bit. That's how you know that the avocado is well ripe. So all we're going to do is, there's an art to cutting up our avocado. We're going to take our knife and we're just going to cut around it right in the middle, just around it, just like this. And then we're gonna take our hands and we're just gonna twist it, and you'll get 2 halves just like this. And then we'll take our knife again, and be really careful this time so you don't cut your fingers or your hand off. You're just gonna go down and jab it a little bit, oops, until the knife anchors into the pit. And then just move it around. Comes right off, you see? So here I've got 2 halves of an avocado. So what you're gonna do next is take your spoon and you're just gonna scoop out the avocado just like this. And it comes right off. And if you see a little brown here, you could just take it off, just like that. So then we'll just go and slice it into thin pieces. So I'm gonna finish cutting up the rest of my filling. And then next, we're gonna make our sushi rice. Now I wanna show you how to cook your sticky white rice on the oven top. So here I have my pot, and I have my white rice already rinsed and cleaned a few times, so it's ready to go. And because I have 2 cups of rice, the ratio of rice to water is 1 to 1.25. However, if your pot has little holes in it, the water will steam out, so you want to add a little extra water. So for a pot like that, for every 1 cup of rice, you want to add 1.5 cups of water. But because my lid doesn't have any holes on them, I'm going to add 1.25 cups of water. So I'm going to place the rice right in my pot. And because it's 2 cups of rice, I'm going to add 2 cups of water right in there. I should say, because it's 2 cups of rice, I'm gonna add 2.5 cups of water. So I'm gonna place my lid, and then I'm gonna turn the flame to high. Once the water starts to boil, then you wanna reduce your flame to low, and simmer cook your rice for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, turn off your flame and let your rice just sit there for 10 minutes so it becomes settled and nice and fluffy. So our rice is cooked, and now I'm gonna turn it into sushi rice. And because I cooked 2 cups of rice, I have here 3 tablespoons of vinegar, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and ½ teaspoon of salt. So what I'm gonna do is just dissolve the sugar and salt right into my vinegar. So I'm just gonna stir it up until all of my salt and sugar dissolve into the vinegar. And then what I'm gonna do is just add it right into our rice. And with my rice paddle, I'm just gonna go in and give it a nice mix so that all of that vinegar mixture gets into every rice. Now we've got our sushi rice. So now we're ready to assemble our California sushi roll. So here I have our seaweed. So the first thing I'm gonna do with the seaweed is just fold it in half, and then we're gonna slice it up with our scissors. So we're just gonna use half of the seaweed sheet to make our California sushi rolls. And then before we get started, I wanna show you a couple of tools that you're gonna need. You're gonna need a sushi mat that looks like this. They're always made out of wood, and you could get it online. They're so cheap, only a few bucks. And you're gonna need some saran wrap and a bowl with water so you could dip your hand in it, because you don't wanna get the rice sticky in your hands. First thing I'm gonna do is dip my hand into the water so that the rice doesn't stick to my hands. And then I'm just gonna go in and get some of the rice, kind of form into kind of a little bowl. And then just go ahead and just spread it all over the seaweed. And make sure you get it on the edges of the seaweed so that the sushi, when you roll it up, it'll all stick together. I'll just put a little bit more rice in there, at the edges like this, just like this. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and dip my hand in water again so the rice doesn't stick to my hand. And then I'm just gonna take my sesame seed and sprinkle it all over, just like this. So you get that really nice toasty sesame seed flavor. So next, we're gonna carefully lift our seaweed with our rice, and we're gonna flip it over, just like this. See? And now we're ready for the filling. So I'm just gonna take some of my crab meat and just put it right in there. It's gonna be so good with that crab meat. And then a little bit of our crunchy cucumber for that freshness to the sushi roll. And then we'll take some of that smooth and creamy avocado and just place it right on top. So now I want to show you how to roll it up. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your rice and seaweed and your sushi mat with your saran wrap, and you're gonna lift it up, and you're gonna make one fold, just like this. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your hands and you're gonna press down into it, forming the shape of the California sushi roll, just like this. Just give it a little pressure. And then you're gonna lift away your saran wrap with the sushi mat, just like this. And you've got the basis of your California sushi roll. You see this shape? Kind of round, yet a little rectangular. That's perfectly shaped. And then I'm just gonna go back in, move it a little bit here like this, and I'm gonna make one more roll to complete the sushi roll, just like this. See? And then give it another press again so it all sticks together. Now you've got your perfectly shaped California sushi roll. Our California sushi roll is perfectly shaped. So the next thing we're gonna do with a bread knife like this, or with a really sharp knife, we're gonna cut it. And you wanna wet your knife a little bit with water so that when you go and cut it, the rice doesn't stick to your knife. So we're just gonna go ahead and cut it into about, let's say about 1/2-inch pieces. We'll cut off the ends first, just like this. And then we'll just go in and start slicing it into about 1/2-inch pieces. So look how perfectly it came out. you could just pop it in your mouth. Look how great these rolls came out. You want to pair it with some wasabi mixed in with some soy sauce. They're so light and healthy with the avocado, crab meat, and cucumber all rolled up in the sesame seed rice with seaweed. They're so good, I could eat like 10 rolls of these right now. With these California sushi rolls, you could treat yourself to Japanese food every day. Thanks for joining me. For all of my Asian living tips, visit my website at yinandyangliving.com. Thank you. 고맙습니다.